Hey, welcome to the Mercury Retrograde episode 66 of the Angel Channel. Man, I don't even know where to begin. And first place I'm going to begin is I didn't get my coffee, so hold on to 1 second. Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable, man. This week has been, hey, what's up, Arnie? Inga, what's up? Grace, excellent to see you. Diane, that's my girl. What's up, girlfriend? And Nancy. Glad to see you could make it with us. Well, before I get started, let me just say a huge thank you to my sponsor, Ernie Mosteller at Fried Okra Entertainment. He just re-upped us for another year on StreamYard and keeping us up and running, and beyond grateful. Great group of people, creative genius, and check out his work at friedokra.tv. So, man, Mercury retrograde, right? It has just been one right after another. And we have kind of a crazy planetary scenario right now with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde and Pluto in Aquarius. So, like, everybody's going to want to speak their mind, but maybe you should think about that before you do. And the communications just crazy. You know, we had Minty May on last week. Minty's a great guy, man. I really enjoy him. And as a matter of fact, I got to be on Michael's show, Holding Space, the next day, that next Tuesday. And Minty and I were reading people together, and it was just really a phenomenal connection, man. I'm stoked about that. Anyway, my friend Nancy was kind of excited about a reading, and Minty read her last, but then we didn't see any of her responses, and I thought that was a little odd. So next day I DM'd her and said, "Hey, where were you?" She said, "No, I was chatting. I was like talking," and you know, so like none of that showed up in the chat thing. Uber perfect example of Mercury retrograde. And, you know, just like the full moons, which the eclipse, whew, that was a really amazing eclipse. And a lot of stuff has started to filter out of that. It's never a good thing to tempt the gods. I had a friend, and his girlfriend came over this last weekend, and we were just hanging out. I was showing them some videos and some music, and all of a sudden I got this kind of weird feeling behind me, and next thing I know, she's like, "I need to go sit down," and like, you could see her like eyes were all glazy, and we got her about 3 steps and she like passed out, man, just went out. Like, what the heck happened here? Turns out she'd just been overheated. She'd flown that day, or a bunch of other things going on. But the real thing that happened was we were just hanging out before we were doing stuff, and mentioned this particular retrograde, and she was like, "No, you know, they've always been really good luck for me." And, you know, 10 minutes later, she's on the floor, passed out. So I don't know if that has any connection. I don't know. Yeah. So, and, you know, just lots of things breaking and falling apart. People getting the wrong orders, or their orders screwed up on, you know, stuff shipped out. So, the best way to deal with Mercury retrograde is first, don't begin any big projects during a Mercury retrograde. People act like this is just kind of a superstition thing, but this is very real energy. And the energy flows from this affect us like a lot. So, first and foremost, keep a good sense of humor, man. Realize what's going on. When something breaks, here we go again, man. Don't take it like all intense and gnarly about it, man. Just it's time to, as like Bruce Lee said, it's time to be like water and just to flow with this one in a really big way. The other thing that is happening right now is Venus is in retrograde too, and Venus is the energy of your social connections, your relationships, your connections with people, your ability to go into new situations and make a positive effect on people. So in retrograde, that kind of goes away. The little sparkly glow that you can have when you walk into a room kind of like dimmed a little bit. And Venus is with my sun sign and Mercury, so it's been especially challenging for me for the past few days, past week or two, actually. I just keep going back to center, finding the humor in it, and a way to laugh and just go the heck on. Also, I've been in really I think the best way to use, not just to survive, but to use a Mercury retrograde is don't start anything. Already established that. But it is a great time for finishing stuff, like things that needed to be completed, things that you've been working on that you wanted to fix, man. Now's a really, really, really super great time to do that. And I would just encourage you, we got it full force. It went into retrograde on the 15th. So this is like a week later. And, it's always at that first chunk of it that you get the most intense effects of it. So it'll be starting to wane, but I would pretty much count on this one being stoked from beginning to end. Linda Martin, hey, glad you could make it. Inga says a solar eclipse is in a few days. That's true. It's been a eclipse world here lately. I don't know if any of you scoped out the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, with kind of like your intuitive eyes. When I go out and look at the full moon and go into the mode to look at energy, I see these like waves, these pulses coming out from the moon, but they're bright and light. And when it got fully dark, man, this dark energy kind of like happened around that. And it was the first time I've seen that. It was pretty crazy. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you guys about this last week. Have any of you watched any of these things called ASMR videos? They're, when I first heard about them, there were things like just watching somebody scratch their nails across paper for like 20 or 30 minutes. I'm like, man, it's just the craziest thing I've ever heard. So I'm scrolling around through YouTube and was really tired last week. And I happened on this video. There's no audio. And it's just looking down into a big tiled studio where they clean carpets, right? And they bring in these like the dirtiest carpets you've ever seen, caked with mud and all this stuff. You can barely recognize it as a carpet. And for the entire video, they're just going layer by layer and cleaning this carpet. what a ridiculous thing to sit and watch. Well, I like caught myself, I'm like 2.5 hours. I'm like watching all these crazy videos of carpet cleaning. So anyway, I'd love to know if any of you guys have run across the gig behind the ASMR videos is that um, a lot of people have been using them for sleep to like put on before they go to sleep. And I'd love to know, if any of you guys have run across any of these videos, if you noticed any effects or anything like that. Okay, on the subject of finishing stuff, I got a really amazing project from a friend of mine who has an art event company, man. He sponsors live events, street art exhibitions with world famous street art people, and all from all over the world. So a couple of years ago, he got involved in this project down in Montego Bay, where there's kind of near the port. There's an 800-foot long wall, and make a long story short, he wound up bringing in a couple of really great world-renowned street artists. They did some portraits, and it kind of caught on. And before you know it, the whole wall was done. There's now like 65 different paintings. So I got hired to do a book, and it's wound up being like a 120-page book. And I wrote all the artist bios and updates and all of the stuff for the stars, and designed this thing. And I wanted to share it with you a little bit here. Yeah, where are you? So I was like starting it off, something fun. And some really super amazing artists involved in this. But, I don't like, I love designing and playing with type and making pages move. And this just turned out so nice. Yeah. So I've mentioned before that my decks started on the winter solstice and finished on the spring equinox. And I don't know, this project kind of has a special magical kind of significance for me because it started on this last spring or this last winter solstice, and I just finished it up just a few days ago on the spring equinox. And I'm very, 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 very happy to have completed this. And we'll be going into the printing stage shortly. And just wanted to share that with you. The other thing that, has started to actually take life, this is a project that's been around for a long time for me. It's called my Just Be deck. And it's just a list of words like be happy, be sad, be mad, be glad, be up, be down, be wet, be dry, and all these dualities. And it's a daily oracle deck that like each word will relate to some frame of mind for the day. And, just like the tarot deck and the angel deck, I've got it connected up to the I Ching and a couple of other things. And I just wanted to share, I've finally gotten about half of it finished. I'm really super stoked with how it's going. And I'm just such a bonehead with this. Yeah. So happy, sad, mad, glad. And so there's 64 of them. And I'm going to be getting this printed not too distant future. So I hope some of you guys will have a good time playing, get it, and have a good time playing with it. I was supposed to have a guest this week, Becky Reagan, my friend from the Birdsong Project, and again, Mercury retrograde. I got a call yesterday that she had a really intense thing come up tonight and couldn't meet with us tonight. So I think we're going to be seeing Becky on April 7th or the 14th. So look forward to that. And you're stuck with me for the guided meditation tonight. Let's see. I hear some burning guitar music on that. Yeah. Actually, Linda, I've been writing all these songs. Like I did a song for my own song for the Bird Song Project, and just like the opening for the Angel Channel, those notes on the piano are actually the letters of the word the Angel Channel. So I've been doing a whole series of words like love, hope, joy, energy, free, and creating songs for them. And I've got a really badass one for the word love. And I think that's going to be what's going to be driving this one, but you never know. Thomas, glad you could make it, man. Happy to have you here. All right, let's see what. Oh yeah. So I'm super stoked to have my friend Arnie on next week, Arnie Layton. And Arnie's a badass deck designer himself. I think he's got 11 or 12 getting ready to come out with a new decks out. And they're all pretty cool. And I really dig them. And I'm looking forward to sitting down with him next week and talking about the decks. And what I'd really like to focus on is, kind of the process of creating a deck, and if anybody out there is, have danced with the idea of doing your own deck, tune in next week and maybe we can give you a few pointers and light a little spark under your butt to get going. The hardest part of the whole thing every single time is starting. Doing the first one, man, it took my teacher. He was so patient with me. He worked on me for a year and a half. And then finally conned me into like just doing one card. I did the Megas card. And then once I got the spark and it was cool, man, it sent me down a really, really wonderful road. Making my own deck was, I really had no idea how impactful that would be on my journey and evolution. And boy, just the things I've learned about myself from my own journey down the fool's journey, the first 22 cards. And repeating that over and over and over. It's like every time you finish and hit the universe, you're back at a new fool's journey. And it's kind of a glorious cycle, and one that lifts you and elevates you and changes your perspective. And I think back, I think back and look at myself when I first designed a deck, which is going on about 12 years ago, and like I feel like a different person. It really, and I am a different person. It changes you in many, many ways. So I'd like to encourage you guys to bring your notepad and your pen, and let's figure out how to get you started, because it's a really worthwhile, rewarding journey. I never set out to design my deck to sell. That came after the deck was already done and people liked it. And I'm like, wow, I should do that. But I really did. It really was my own personal journey. And it was kind of my own desire to like unify all the crazy pieces of my metaphysical education and different oracle techniques and combine those all into one big, massive Cadillac tarot deck that I would read with, and that's all that really was driving me at the beginning of it. And it's turned into a way that I've connected on a really deep, visceral level with many people all over the world, and what a crazy surprise. I never would have anticipated that. So looking really forward to Arnie being on the show next week. Mercury retrograde, allowing. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to get down to some business. First thing we're going to do is create some sacred space. Oh, actually, before I do that, I was shuffling the deck before the show and trying to get it ready, and a singular card popped out of the deck, man, landed right on my desk and stared at me. So, when that happens, I figured that was kind of a collective card for all of us. So I'm going to go ahead and read you the reading for that. It's angel number 11, the angel of victory. And I read this because it's a rather encouraging message. You're experiencing a cycle of change that will help your bottom line. Shatter the obstructions that keep you from realizing your greatest you. Shed the weight of old habits and baggage, dissolve psychological or emotional resistance, and you free your talents to blossom and reveal themselves. Move through your old fears of failure. Turn an objective eye to your efforts, evaluate your mistakes, and learn from them. Perfect your craft. Patience. This cycle is shaking up and rebuilding your life. Growth comes through earnest effort and hard work. Plan your strategy during this pause. A major decision is here, one that will represent a big improvement in your finances, one you'll welcome joyously. So stop worrying. You experience a nostalgic moment, looking back with satisfaction on something you have achieved. What you have built can grow by itself now, and you can step back and let it thrive. Yeah. Okay. I love the energy part of it. Here we go. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant I know. With the brilliant, radiant light of the source filling every corner of our rooms, I banish and clean this space and make this place pure. We come together again in joy and gratitude to create our circle of energy, our sanctuary, our place of safety. We ask that the angels be with us this evening in force, and that they share their truth, their wisdom, their love. We ask that we have eyes to hear, eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, infinite, unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. All right, so this week's card is the Angel of the Knowledge of Good and Evil. I know I say this every week, but it happens to be one of my favorite cards. Yeah. The advice and help you need is being offered now. Listen carefully. It can come from the most unexpected places. Your situation isn't half as bad as you think it is. Pay attention to good advice and act on it. Stop sabotaging yourself. No more of this yes, but attitude. You know exactly what you want. Why are you trying to convince yourself that you cannot have it? Stop. Move through this negative thinking. Seek good expert advice on what to do about your problems. As valuable as specific instruction is, just as important is your readiness to listen and seek help. Through the act of finding help, a reader, a therapist, or even a friend, you open yourself to possibilities. Then you can decide which course, independence or seeking advice, will produce the best results. Set your imagination free and tease your curiosity. This has been an interesting journey with these angels. It hasn't been as intense for me as it was with the tarot deck, as far as just completely obliterating my life. But as I've looked back, you know, the 66 show now, it's like every week, it's kind of been a reflection of what was being offered now. So yeah, I'm keeping my ear out for good advice. Anybody out there got some, let me know. All right. So what I want to do tonight is we're going to do a 3 breath down to 0 space breathing sequence. And then we're going to, with this breathing pattern and the guided meditation, we're going to generate healing energy for ourselves and for other people. Okay. So the breathing sequence will be a series of 3 increasing patterns. And the first pattern will be, and there's no holds in this, the first pattern will be a 4 intake, and then an 8 exhale. 4 intake and 8 exhale. We're going to do 4 of those, and then we'll bump that up to a 6 inhale and a 12 exhale. Okay. And then the last one, we'll do 4 of those as well. And then the last one, we're going to do an 8 inhale and a 16 exhale. Now, you know, don't spaz out and freak out. First of all, it's not really that long. It sounds long. I've had a couple of people go, "Oh, I can't hold my breath that long." Yeah, you can hold your breath for 16 seconds. But if you feel yourself, you know, and the way to do that is just to relax into it and not get all tense. If you're tense, it won't work at all. You want to completely relax and just follow my voice on the sequence and just lean into it. If for some reason during the 12 or the 16, exhale. You feel yourself running out of air. Don't sweat it. Just take a quick, just grab a new one and finish out the count, and we'll finish it on. This particular pattern has a really specific use in that it's used to generate heat to your hands and heat to your whole body, but I always focus it on my hands. And this is breath sequence that I do before I do healings for other people, and really get that juice to your hands. So as we're doing the sequence, just imagine your hands on fire, not hot like it's burning your skin, but just imagine it just with these beautiful golden flames, and send that heat to your hands. And at the end of that, if this is the first time you've done it, you may or may not get heat, but every time you do it, it will get a little more intense. And this is amazing, amazing, amazing healing energy that you can lay hands on and send that to different parts of the body. All right, so let's start with our cleansing breaths down to 0. I want you to use your solar plexus, draw in the air, and think of it not as air, but as bright white cleansing light. Okay, and just draw that in. And as we release, I want you to release really slow, and connect your breath to shutting your body and your mind off. You want to be able to relax. You don't know how much energy you're putting into holding your shoulders up. I'm talking about as your breath goes, just release everything like you're a balloon deflating, like it's the machine turning off, right? And winding down. And at the end of that, when your breath runs out, don't take an immediate new breath. Just stay in that space. And at that space, just be quiet. Like there's no thought. Like as your thoughts shut off towards the end of that, you're in this beautiful, pristine blankness, right? And we'll hold that for 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then we'll repeat that 3 times. All right, so here we go. Use your solar plexus in through your nose, really fill it up. Inhale. Really pack it in there. And exhale, turning off the machine. Everything's relaxing. Your mind is shutting off. You're going deeper, deeper. Silence. Inhale. Really fill it up. Use your solar plexus and release. As your attention goes down inside, no thoughts. Relax your body. Deeper, turning off. Silence. One more. Inhale. Nice and full. And exhale. Down into the depths. Deeper, deeper. No sound, no thoughts. Silence. Okay, I'm going to use the word in and out to count for one of the counts. So it'll be like in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Oh, and just like we used your solar plexus to draw this energy, use your second chakra just below your navel, in between your groin and your navel. It sounds difficult, but it isn't. Super easy. Just throw your attention down there and use that part of your body to be the thing that pulls, okay? All right, here we go. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Changing to 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Going to 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Last one. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and rest. Okay, keep your eyes closed and just stay in that zone. You're in a beautiful blank space of potential. You're standing up and you're looking up at the sky, And it's just a beautiful azure indigo blue, deep and rich, filled with stars, more stars than you've ever seen in your whole life. You can see the Milky Way and shooting stars happening across the horizon. And you notice the sky getting lighter, and you realize that dawn's coming. And you just watch as the light slowly blooms over the horizon. Yellows and orange, glorious, golden. Finally, the sun cracks the edge of the horizon with that explosion of golden light. And instantly, everything is just bathed in this orange golden glow. And you feel it warming your entire body. And as the sun comes up, its rays become more intense. And you feel your body falling away, your thoughts falling away, your personality, the you think you are, melting away until you're just a body of beautiful, radiant light standing in the rays of the sun. And slowly those little flames, little golden flames start at your feet, start to make a spiral around your body, cleansing off everything, purifying your light, purifying your light, purifying your light. And as the sun is radiating golden healing energy, I want you to take a really slow, deep inhale, pulling in that energy and letting it flow to every part of your body, filling it up with each breath. Inhale deep. Warm, golden energy filling you. Slow exhale. Inhale. Your body is glowing gold now, rejuvenating every cell. Bringing new life. Fixing what's wrong. Enhancing all that's good. And just keep taking breath after breath, filling up to the brim. Now, if there's something that needs attention, you can focus your intent and take all of that energy and send it to the place that needs help. You can do this for you. You can send this to other people that you care about too. Let that energy just filter through you, completely relaxed. The ultimate warm glow. Okay. All right, slowly come back. Take a deep breath. Come back to your worldly awareness. Find yourself back in your space, relaxed with a warm, tingly glow. All right. You know, I didn't mention this earlier, but anyone out there looking for a reading, pull some angel cards. Man, that was deep. I'm still kind of there. Any readings out there? Anybody looking for one? Y'all zoned out, didn't you? For sure. Thomas, you're welcome. Thank you very much. All right, Inga, this one's for you. You know the drill. I'm still in gold space. Words of wisdom from my good friend Inga. Words of wisdom from my good friend Inga. Words of wisdom for my good friend Inga. Number 3. The angel of the construction of the universe and worlds. Yeah, it's pretty good. Integrity and virtue, the balanced union of your mind, heart, and action working in harmony. You have the ability to envision new possibilities long before they become a reality, and can create your reality with your visions. You need a perfect someone on the team to make sure your venture prospers, a creative cohort willing to assist and support you. You need someone that really knows their stuff. The beginning of a new adventure is at hand. You are on solid ground, and work should be fearlessly pursued. Allow your light to explore, seek, and experience your inner visions. Seek the deepest truth. I often ask the source to let me see it as big a picture as I can stand without going crazy. Might give it a try. Seek the deepest truth, the flesh of the fruit beneath the skin. Nurture your existing connections and relationships. At the same time, cast your net wide for new friends, lovers, and adventures. You have assimilated the traumas of the past and made peace with them. Ready yourself to leap ahead. Man, that's so true for you. Be kind to everyone, most of all, yourself. Make sure that when you talk about yourself, you're not cursing yourself. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, man. I say that sometimes just in goofiness, but if truth be told, you should probably not do that at all. Be really kind to yourself. Be really, really loving and appreciative of the miracle that you actually are. Everyone experiences pain in some form or other. Yeah. Commit yourself with unconditional love to help others become whole. Become a beacon of light in the darkness. Yeah, there you go. Grace, you're welcome. I hope you got that pack. After this, just a suggestion, you might lay down and just lay down on your back for like 10 or 15 minutes and just let that energy, it's still working. Let it just go wherever it needs to go. Okay. All right, Jason, this one's for you, bro. Focus hard. Take 3 deep breaths and just clear your mind. And if you have a specific question, fill it with that. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jason. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jason. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jason. Number 47, the angel of contemplation. The farther you stretch past your comfort zone, the louder the fear voice becomes. Fear. Where fear exists, there is also opportunity for growth. Don't be timid. Move on. Use your fear like rocket fuel to propel you forward. You create your visions of the future on the astral, like everything happens there first. That's why we do those light energy cleansings, like sickness, illness, all kinds of gooky, all happens out there. And your visuals, like you want to manifest something, that's where it happens first. And it's real there, waiting to gain substance in the material world, right? You create your visions of the future on the astral, but for them to become reality, they must be given substance, juice, all these energy exercises. And we're really in the energy light, it can get so much more intense, but using your light and your fire and your juice to drive these things is what gives them authenticity and substance, right? Use common rise. Okay, sorry about that. Here, let's go again. You create your visions of the future on the astral, but for them to become reality, they must be given substance, juice. Without tangible energy, they will remain only daydreams. Rise above your situation. Be realistic now. Use common sense to map out a plan. Visualize the possibilities and see clearly in your mind the good things have already happened. You know, that's half the battle. Believing it's real, knowing it's not just believing, but knowing it's real, like as soon as you send that out. With your skills and abilities well developed, it is time to decide where and how to use them. Allow your mind to explore the potentials. Here is a taking stock, a look at the material interface, a harvesting at the emotional level, and then a reinvestment in the emotional future. That's a good card for you. Arnie, for sure. Oh yeah, here, Thomas, you got in there first. Let me get Thomas first, Arnie. All right, Thomas, close your eyes and imagine that you and I are just standing face to face, looking each other right in the eye. And if you have a specific question, really focus on that and beam that out. If not, I'll just pick up from your energy field. Okay. All right. So a couple deep breaths, really focus. All right. Here we go. Focus hard. Words of wisdom for my friend Thomas. Words of wisdom for my friend Thomas. Words of wisdom for my friend Thomas. Number 51, the angel of universal medicine. Yeah, appropriate for tonight's guided meditation. I'm so spacey tonight, man. My brain just keeps wanting to go back to that meditation space. You have learned to cope with your dilemmas and the compromises they demand. Your experiences have melted together and formed wisdom and discipline. You are on the right path. Stay the course. Listen to what others have to say and do not be obstinate. Keep your eye on the prize and know you have everything it takes to succeed. Know thyself, respect thyself, walk your own path. Defend your spirit without compromising. Be honest. Preserve your spirit. Keep mentally, physically, and emotionally fit, and your spirit will naturally guide you. Preparation and attention to detail ensure your success against any challenges, and you will be victorious. You have tremendous vitality, attractiveness, and charm to both sexes, following the flow of your highest purpose. Have the foresight and courage to turn away from that which is not right for you. Meet your future with an unshakable stance. Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, we got a couple more to do. Arnie, you're next. You know the drill. Looking forward to hanging with you next week, too, by the way, man. Focus really hard, Arnie. You're a little scattered. Deep breath. There we go. Words of wisdom for my good friend Arnie. Words of wisdom for my good friend Arnie. Words of wisdom for my friend Arnie. Ha. Number 58. The angel of mental force. That's a pretty crazy angel. I'll be glad when Mercury goes direct. Being a jack of all trades leads to workaholism, which can be just as devastating to love and creativity as any other excess. You forsake everything for the sake of one. You impose standards and values on others that they can't and shouldn't live up to. In doing so, you stifle and suffocate those who care about you and support you. You will go much farther with the active support and encouragement of those around you. You have the discipline to work long and hard, but you lose sight of the big picture, obsessing about details that don't matter. You and me both, bro. You get caught up in the drudgery of meaningless exertion. The race continues at a steady, slow pace. Your skill is in recognizing the broader scope. That's so true. Stand back occasionally to view the whole scene and make any minor adjustments along the way. Visualize a detailed picture of the completed project. Always strive to learn more, to gain more experience. You will learn to focus on your ambition and extend the effort necessary to succeed. Okay, and I think last but not least is my girl, Nancy. You know the drill too, Nancy. Focus really hard. Words of wisdom for my girl, Nancy. Words of wisdom for my girl, Nancy. Words of wisdom for my girl, Nancy. Wow, this one just sort of popped out. Number 5, the angel of healing. Yeah, that's the theme for tonight, man. I've got some people that definitely need some juice. All righty. Completion and a new beginning. You have succeeded, perfected your art, and you will feel balance, satisfaction, and joy. Make plans to enjoy the fruits of your hard work. Romantically, you could be forming sound foundations. It will be rich and a satisfying match. Your mind is buzzing, creative, and sharp now. Seeds you planted begin to bear fruit. Rewards will be received for your past efforts, and abundance will be the word of the hour, and prosperity rules. I love when abundance is the word of the hour. Meet and beat your challenge, your present challenge, and you will feel a sense of completion. The welcomed regeneration when opposite energies finally harmonize. These moments are a deep soul cleansing. Celebrate and be generous with your treasure. Show appreciation to those who supported you. Give yourself permission to be your biggest self. Allow your higher spirit to assist you in lending assistance to others. Life is a beautiful celebration. It really is. As crazy it is, Mercury and all, it's a beautiful celebration. Embrace it at every turn of the road. You are a seeker on the path, enjoying the comfort of being spiritually centered, secure in the knowledge of actions completing the karmic contract. Your course has been established and proven. Feedback is excellent. There will be celebration. Yeah. You guys are welcome, Tom, Arnie. And again, can't wait to compare it. Last week on Zin's show on Tuesday, he had me and Minty on after Monday night being on my show, and we wound up doing tandem readings for some people, which I don't normally do, but I found it just amazingly fun. So love to throw that out to you. Think about that during the week, and maybe we'll do a couple of those ourselves, man. So I guess it's about that time, guys. Yeah, well, look for some, Nance, for sure. You're welcome. As always, my Wizard of Oz tarot decks available at wizardofoz.com. And, there's just a few left. I've only got 5 of them left. And, if anybody cops one and mentions the show, I'll be happy to give you a nice 2-hour full reading and along with the deck. So grab them while you can. Also, as always, hit that subscribe, that like, leave a comment down below, and share if you don't mind. I would really appreciate it so much. And if you're looking to, support the cause in any way, shape, or form, you can always make some nice contributions through PayPal at mywizard@wizardofoz.com. So without further ado, we're going to close it up. Really grateful for all of you for being here and sharing space. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. We're winding down. There's 72 cards, and this was show 66. So we're winding down to kind of the end of the road for the deck. So make sure you stick around. I'd love to have you for the rest of the shows. So with that, we joyously close our meeting for this evening. Bid everyone farewell and a safe return. We thank their angels for their truth, their wisdom, and for helping us connect to the source. And with absolute gratitude, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source, until next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.